This is a massive problem in the National Hockey League, and if you don't know what I'm on about, just look at this clip here, and at first glance, if you didn't watch the game, you're looking at that, you say, oh, what is it? Like, is there a penalty there? Was it a flop or a dive? What's going on? What's your problem with this, Johnny? This was assessed a cross-checking penalty to Mike Matheson. Yes, you heard me right. This was a cross-checking penalty to Michael Matheson. Now, the NHL has a massive consistency problem when it comes to officiating. And, I mean, you cannot go to two different games and see any type of consistency in the calls being made. And you can just go on Twitter, you can see people complaining or talking about specific refs, and the difference and the variance in what's going to get called or what's not going to get called, depending on who the ref is a joke. That should not happen at all. I understand these are people, they're not robots, they're not going to get everything right, and there's going to be some degree of variance and difference between calls depending on who's reffing the game, but it shouldn't be crazy like where this is a cross-checking penalty, and then when this happens to Gallagher when he gets popped in the face cross-check, there's no penalty. And yes, I know Flyers fans especially going to come out and say, oh, that was the playoffs. They put the whistles away in the playoffs. Look, I'm all for rougher, tougher hockey, you know, especially in the playoffs where you really got to grind it away, but it can't be this big of a swing. There still has to be a baseline of consistency where it can't be this wildly different when it comes to penalties like this. And it's not just cross-checking. Like, there's so many other penalties where it's like, what is going on here? And don't even get me started on distinct kicking motions. The lack of consistency in the National Hockey League. I'm not saying the refs are terrible or anything. I'm not trying to attack them and say, oh, they're awful, they're awful, they're awful. I'm just saying there needs to be a bit more pride taken in being consistent with the calls in the National Hockey League and being consistent with what's a cross-check, what's a kicking motion, what's goaltender interference. There has to be some consistency there, and it's a joke when stuff like this gets called for cross-checking, but again, the one on Gallagher in the playoffs doesn't, right? Like, it's just, it's unbelievable. And if, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Gallagher might even have broken his jaw on that play that I showed you there. So it's just a joke, and it's a huge problem. The NHL needs to rectify this because it's embarrassing if they don't, and they gotta do something about it. That's it for me on this one. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.